first thing that I'm going to do, I've already moisturized my face, and I'm going to apply, well, one of my first things that I like to do or need to do is chapstick, Vaseline, anything. My lips get so dry. Not as much, they're not as bad anymore. It's like definitely starting to warm up, but still I definitely have to put on just something on my lips, and just, you know, just to kind of fill in some of the cracks and things like that before I apply lipstick, lip glosses, things like that. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer, and this is a really nice one. Little goes a long way for sure. And I'm just going to add that in just like to my forehead and this area right here, just so it, you know, really smooths out everything before I start. I don't like putting it like where my eyebrows are, only because I feel like, I don't know, like when I go to fill in my eyebrows, it's almost like the pencil or the just, you know, whatever I use to fill them in literally slides off my face. Like it just doesn't stay. So I don't like putting it too close to where I will put my eyebrow, just kind of really where I'll do my eyebrows. So, oh my goodness. But I hope you guys are doing well and healthy and everything else. I just wanted to kind of do something to put my mind on, I don't know, vacation mode and, you know, the Caribbean. I'm from St. Croix, so my parents are still there, and I like to go back and see them and see friends, and just know that when I get to go back, it's either once or twice a year. Just knowing that I can go to the beach and just kind of sit there and relax and just, you know, have a drink. You know, it's always like a rum punch or something. I know most people are like, you don't have an accent. Usually, well, I do, but I think growing up in a military family, it was just very, I don't know, I think I just kind of learned how to split things where it was very, you know, professional as my dad was, and then at the same time, you know, we had our home life where we spoke. I don't know, it's just, I felt like speaking like this was an easier way to make friends. I don't know, I guess growing up, you always want to be a little bit different than, just so you don't stand out. So I think I just figured out how to do both. I don't know, but yeah, that's where I was raised, and my family's Guyanese, and so I like incorporating a lot of Caribbean things into everything that I do, and how I speak. I know I speak like this normally when I'm hanging out with friends, but for sure when I'm home and talking to my family or my kids, you better believe I'll be talking like this because they don't know how I am. So it switches off and on. So I don't know. I feel like most of the time people aren't going to understand what I'm saying if I talk like that all the time. So anyway, now that I have my primer going, I'm going to go ahead and start with my foundation. I don't know if it's the stress of being at home, but I feel like my face has been a bit more, I don't know, not blotchy, but just, I think I do wear the stress on my face. So I feel like it hasn't been as smooth as it has before. So I think just doing a full glam look with some foundation for sure will be fun. And something I think my skin needs, not just the everyday slap on chapstick and that's it. So, okay, so let's go ahead and start with the foundation. Okay, so the foundation I'm going to be using, this is called Earth, and this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I picked this up. This is a really good deal, but I really like this. This, you know, it's like very convenient, easy to travel with, and so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this and see how that goes. But I used it once, and then I think it gave me more of a glowy, not a glowy look, but it was just definitely a different look that I wasn't used to it. So I definitely wanted to try it again for this look and just kind of see how everything comes together. Okay, so I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to be kind of using my mirror down here, so if I'm not looking up, sorry about that. But Yeah, I'm just gonna go in. So this is a really great, I mean, it kind of blends in really well. It's, you know, a good color for me. So I don't think it's too dark and it's not too light. So I'm just gonna kind of go in where I'm gonna put some of this. I don't wanna put too much, but just kind of put that into the places where I definitely want some coverage. And then I'm gonna go in with my trusty Morphe brush, foundation brush, and just kind of blend that all in. So I really like that. It's a really nice finish. It's really, really smooth. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So this is, yeah, the Anastasia. This is the stick foundation. And I'll link everything down below so that you guys can find it. But that was in the color Earth. So for a pretty dark skin tone like mine, this was a really nice match. I really like that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do my, just like my highlight and concealer. So I am going to be using, this is the Revlon and it's in Candid, and I really like this color, and I love the wand. It's nice and flat. It's got like a really nice shape to it. So I'm just going to kind of put that in. I don't want to put too much, but I'm just going to kind of start here because I want to be able to have enough product to go this way and blend out really thin, and not have it, you know, this whole area and then you're like trying to blend it out and it's just, it keeps going farther and farther back. So I just want to stay within the area of like where I really do get dark, and that's like my famous raccoon, reverse raccoon is what I like to call it. But yeah, I just, underneath my eyes and over my eyes is where I definitely just get so dark. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and I blended out this side so that you can kind of see that, but I really just love the look and how smooth and seamless it is. It doesn't crease, and I like to just kind of bring it down just a little bit right here. It doesn't get too dark, but just to kind of make it a little bit more uniform. And then over my eye, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do this side. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tap this in right here, just a little bit, and down my nose, and a little bit right here, but I haven't highlighted too much. I don't feel like it's I think for me, my biggest thing is just to kind of highlight underneath here and my eyes, because this is the spot that you can really see, especially in pictures or out when I'm standing in the sun. That's like the darkest part of my face, and so I like to kind of just blend that in really well, as much as I can. And I decided to just do all of that with a dry blender, just because I know that once I'm done, I'm gonna add a spray, you know, like a setting spray, and so I just don't want to have too much moisture to go on right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, this is my Laura Mercier in the translucent. This is by far my favorite setting powder. I really, really like this. So I'm just going to go in with the same blender and just kind of go underneath and just kind of set that. So it's going to look crazy for a little bit, but I'm just going to set that for just a little bit. And I like doing that only because I get really oily right here and underneath my eyes. I'm just going to put a little bit here, even though I didn't add anything to it just yet, but just around my nose, and this area right here gets really oily. And then with a lighter brush, okay, this is also from Morphe, I'm not sure, I can never get it right, but I think you guys know what I mean. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to tap my brows and just kind of tap the powder into that, and all here. So this right here, like this whole area and this whole area is where I get like the most, like, because I have combination skin, is where I get the most oily. So I like to just kind of set this, and this kind of helps my brows to kind of set in place as well. So lately what I've been doing is just kind of getting, I don't even know where I got this from, to be honest. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I will try to find it, but I just love using, and it could have been like Wet n Wild or something like that, but it's a brown eyeliner pen, and I really like it just for like the precision. And so I've actually lately been using this to outline my eyebrows, just so I can get a really nice crisp shape, and then going back and filling them in. And I found that technique has been really nice. So as you can see, just kind of getting the base shape of what I want. And I like using this because if you want to do something, you know, a little bit more thicker or a more bolder brow, you can do that for something more glam, because it's just everything is going to be so precise with the shape. And then, or you can just kind of use this where if you just want it to be super natural, you can just kind of use this, and you almost get like that, oh gosh, like that threading, no, not threading, oh my goodness, but just that, oh, I'm going to think of the name and I'm going to put it right here, but it'll just kind of give you that look like you got them done. So it's like that stroked more look, but it just kind of gives you a little bit more of a natural look if you want to, or you can just be as dramatic as you want with it. So I've been really liking this. So I'm going to go ahead and do these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled them in. So just to kind of give you a closer look. So I went ahead and I just, you know, outlined with the pen, just like the outside, just to give it the shape. And then I went in with, this is the LA Girl Brow Pomade, and this is in, I think this is either, what is this? This is in soft black. And so I just used, you know, just an angled brush and just kind of filled in with, you know, this, and just kind of filled it in all the way and brushing upwards as I filled in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use this flat brush, and I'm going to add just a little bit of concealer underneath the brows just to kind of really chisel them in. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. palette, and this is the foundation, and you guys know I always use this. So I like using this color, where is it? This one and this one just kind of mixed together just to kind of get the right shade. So I like to just kind of test that out. Well, it's like a combination, I guess, of like all three, which, yes, I think using the concealer or something else would probably be easier, but I don't want it to be that bright underneath my eyebrows. I want it to be cleaned up, but I don't want it to be like sticking out like a sore thumb, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do that. On this side, and just kind of bring, just kind of bring that color down so you guys can kind of see, and just kind of blend that in. And then I'll just go back in with my beauty blender afterwards and kind of just clean that up before I add any eyeshadow. But before I do that, I will definitely just use some powder just to kind of clean it up a little bit. So next, since I've already set everything, I'm going to go back in with powder, and I'm just going to kind of set this area. Just kind of get that, and I like to kind of push it in and underneath on my brows and my eyelids, just because that's where it gets the most oil or oil. Okay, so I'm going to be using Morphe Palette, and this is in 35H, And the colors that I'm going to be using are this one right here, and then I'm going to use this one in the corner, no, not that one, sorry, this one right here, because I want this to go, you know, just like more towards the outside. And then this peach is really, really pretty. So I'm going to be adding that in, but that definitely reminds me of just like the coral colors and the color of the ocean and just my home. I absolutely love being from the Caribbean, and my family's originally from Guyana, and so it's just, you know, in us. It's, you know, it's the food, it's the music, it's calypso, it's reggae, it's saltfish and ackee, it's rice, it's everything that's in there. So I like to just show that in everything that I do. My personality, it just oozes relaxation and chill, and I love everything about it. So I just wanted to definitely share this look with you guys. And you know, maybe if you're on vacation, you've got that beautiful sundress and you just want to have that pop of color, I hope this is the look that you would love to try. Okay, so to start, I'm going to be using this coral color, and I'm going to be adding that just very lightly to the inside, you know, corners of my eyes, and then kind of building out the color from there. So just to start with that, I'm going to be using just a smaller brush. So I'm going to be using something like this and just kind of get a little bit on there. These are such pretty colors. I just love just all the sparkles and everything. It's just so fun to use just with all of this. So, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of bring that down so it can be the whole inside corner of the eye. Pretty, that's really, really pretty. And I'm just gonna, I'm that person that when I do my eyes, I don't like to do one whole eye at the same time. I like to go back and forth, because then I can, for me, it's easier to mirror what it looks like if I can do one side and then move to the next and keep building out that way. I just always have this, not a fear, but feeling of, and I've done it before, maybe it's just the way that I am, but when I do one whole eye, it comes out looking amazing, and then I go to this side and it doesn't quite match as well. So for me, this is what works, just to kind of do it that way so that I'm going from side to side. That's the technique that works best for me. So you guys let me know if you guys are from the Caribbean, and if so, you know, who out there and where. I would love to hear all about it. I know it was a special time. I was born in the States, but you know, my family or my parents immigrated here, and so, you know, when they came, I know my mom for sure was, you know, always longing for us to go back, and so we stayed a little bit in the States, hence, you know, being able to speak without the accent. And then, you know, when I was much later on, you know, before teen years and stuff, it's probably like around 10 or something, we moved back, or we got the opportunity to move to St. Croix. So that was really, really cool. And I loved it, and I just stayed there until I finished high school. So I still have friends there, and my parents are still there. So it's a really special place for me to take my kids and have them just see how I grew up and go to the beach and eat the food and hear the music and just everything like that. It's really, really special just to kind of meet up there and be with them. So I love that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just really blended out that area just to kind of get it really seamless right here so that I can start to build with the next color. So you can go ahead and see that. But I think just this by itself is really, really pretty. I like that. Really nice. It's really cute. Like, I think if I was to stop right here, I would probably do like a really strong black eyeliner or something, or just even something that, just even eyeshadow. I mean, not eyeshadow, mascara. Just to have it so it's like there, but that's it. It's a really cute look too. Okay. So the next color that I'm going to be using was that really pretty turquoise. So I'm just going to go in with that. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of stick with this small brush, only because these are such bright colors. I want to have a little bit more control. And then I'll go back in with like a bigger eyeshadow brush and just kind of blend it out. But just to kind of do the first application, I want to have as much control as I can. So I'm going to go ahead into themselves, if you can see that. It's really pretty. I like that. Sorry, I'm always like looking at the mirror. Okay, so I've gone in and just kind of used this and just kind of went over just so that I don't have like that line at the top, and just kind of blended that in and outwards, and the same for this side. And just making sure everything has been blended before I add like the next color. Is this one right here. Just so it's a little bit more of a matte color, but that will just kind of tie in everything, and then I can just kind of build that a little bit underneath. But I'm thinking I might just add in a different color. I'm not sure. So let me just kind of see how this all goes. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to be using this size brush, and I'm going to go ahead and add in this matte color. And it looks already, like you could always tell some colors that just kind of, you know, cake into the brush right away, and that's what tends to fall down. So I can see even just tapping it into the color that it's just going to have a lot of droplets to it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, so you can kind of see it's dropping already, so I'm just going to have to clean that up a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that just to the corners, and then do that to the other side. And just make sure that they're matching up evenly on either side. And then I'm going to bring that color down right here, just through the corners, because I want to leave the middle open, and add in either, I think I'm going to bring this color just down right here. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll go ahead and blend that out so these lines aren't so strong. Okay, so I went ahead and just kind of blended both of the colors together, and then just kind of dropped it down a little bit. I do notice this side comes out a little bit farther than this side. So what I'll do is when I go to clean that up, I'll just add a little bit more powder and just kind of just clean up this area right here. So makeup is not perfect. It's fun, but it's never perfect. I think I'm going to use this one. What's nice about this brush is it also has like a really small tapered side as well. And I'm going to go back in with that really nice blue that I had up here and just kind of bring that down just to kind of brighten up underneath the eye again. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that right here and just kind of blend in so that I can have like the same uniform look underneath, and it'll just kind of brighten up that under eye. Cute. I love that. That's really, really pretty. I like that a lot. So, and I'm just going to kind of blend this pink down a little bit just to make sure that that's nice. Okay. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of clean up the sides and just kind of make sure that everything here is clean and pulled in. So to do that, I'm just going to kind of go in with this brush right here and just kind of clean up anything that may have fallen. Okay, so instead of using, I usually run to a black eyeliner, but sometimes I like, just shaking things up a little bit and doing things differently. So I am going to be using, this is the NYX or NYX, but this is a really, really pretty color, and this is in the color vivid sapphire. So I'm gonna do this instead of a black eyeliner, and just a little bit winged, but nothing too much, because this is super bright and it's really, really pretty. But just to kind of shake things up a little bit. So how pretty is that? I really, really like this. It's really dramatic, really different, unexpected, but it really gives a really pretty pop to the eye. Definitely would bring attention to the eye, and I absolutely love that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so just making sure that they match both sides. And then what I'm gonna do is, I think I wanna bring it down just a little bit lower on each side, just to bring that in to the corners, just a little bit more. I think that's definitely the look that I was going for. So the next thing that we're gonna do is apply the lashes. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara. So this is one that I wanted to, or that I'm going to try. This is called Radical Glam Lash. It was this in this month's, oh, if I'm, okay, there it is. It was in my Allure Beauty box this month, and so I wanted to try it. I did open it yesterday and just kind of try it out, but I wanted to try it with this look. But I did like that it wasn't too heavy. It was very lightweight and just very natural. It's not like dramatic. If you're looking for dramatic, this isn't it, but this just came across very, very light to me, which for this look, I want the eyeshadow to stand out more so than my lashes. So this was a really good option to use. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added the lashes. So these are really, really light. Nothing too heavy. I really wanted the blue to be able to show through with these lashes. So I just wanted to add a little bit of definition, but nothing too much. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is, instead of, usually I use, this is the Juvia, I really like this contour. So I'm trying to decide if I just contour with my MAC blush, or if I should just do this. So I think what I'm going to do is, drum roll, I'm going to use this. I mean, usually, yeah, I'm going to use this. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of add a little bit here, and then with a smaller brush, I'm just going to just tap a little bit and then contour the sides of my nose. So I don't want to add too much, because again, I want this to be really light, really airy, still full glam, but nothing taking away from the star of the show, which is my eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit down the sides, just to kind of contour my nose a little bit. And then I like to bring that down underneath right here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, oh, that's there and here. And okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I went ahead and just kind of set I can't talk, this quarantine has me like losing my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do my lips. So before I use these, I just got this lip pencil. This was another thing that I got in my Allure Beauty box, and the color was perfect. It's like pomegranate, but it's like a really bright pink, and I thought that that would be really cute to go with this look today. So it's like one of those like turn ones, and just the color is really, it's really, really pretty. You can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips, but I'm just going to line just the middle part, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm going to start, oh, I need my mirror. Okay. So I'm just going to go, because this is where I'm going to be putting a lot of my lips, just where I'm going to have the brighter color. And then I'll show you in a second what I mean. It's because I'm going to have the brighter part of my lips right in the center, and then I'm going to blend it out with a more neutral color towards the ends or the sides of my lips. So I'm going to go ahead and line this where I want the darker to go, and then I'll come back with the lipstick. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just kind of lined just like the center. I know it looks really crazy right now, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this is the NYX, and this is in the color Shocking Pink. And this is really definitely shocking pink. But since, for me, if I was to put this all over my lips, I think it'd be way too much. So I'm just going to add it. Okay, so that's what I meant by just adding a little bit. I do think that the lip pencil probably would have been a good color just to leave by itself, but it's always good to try. Okay, and then this is the Lip Butter Gloss. This is my favorite lip gloss, but this is in color Ginger Snap. And what I'm going to do is just kind of add this to the whole lip and blend in and soften up some of this pink color. Okay, so I went ahead and I added that. I think what I'm going to do is it's still a little bit too bright, especially towards the top. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that away. And for that, I'm just going to use a Q-tip and then just kind of reblot, because I want to bring this lower color more towards the top, if that makes sense. Okay, so, and then of course, yes, so I think that just kind of brings it down and tones it down just a little bit more. But I do like the color now that it's a little bit more muted. So, and then of course, rule of thumb when applying lipstick is just to, when you're all finished, do the finger test. And just to kind of make sure that whatever comes off around your finger is not going to end up on your teeth. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is apply a blush. So I am going to be using, it's from the same palette that I was using, and I'm going to be using this color down here and just kind of sweeping that over the apples of my cheeks. Okay, and lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add on some highlights. So again, I'm going to be using the same Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using this color right here. And what's nice about that is if you are traveling, you're going on vacation, and you don't want to bring a bunch of stuff with you, these palettes are awesome because you can use them for eyeshadows, you can mix them with Vaseline and use them for lip glosses, eyeshadows, dark browns to fill in eyebrows, and different colors to use as highlighters, blush. The options are endless, so it just kind of keeps everything down to one palette so that it's a lot easier to pack. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap in some of this gold and just kind of want to have like that more sun-kissed look, and just kind of add that towards the top. Lighter tone just to go down the bridge of my nose and the tip. Final look, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate your support. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys are staying happy and healthy. I know it's so hard to be in and just trying to find things to take up your time and just stay busy. So I thank you so much for watching and making me a part of your day. And I'll see you in the next video.